So why don't you tell me what you love about being a wedding planner or an
So
event planner?
an event planner. Okay, so this is a bit of a twofold question then. So for me, my favorite part about being a wedding planner would be the very first moment that the couple is announced as husband and wife or partner and partner, whatever they choose to be. And as they're going back down the aisle for the first time together, the smile on their face just says everything. That sets the tone for the rest of the party, and I love it. And then I think the second best part of being a wedding planner is every event is completely unique in itself. So the jobs that I used to hold that had, the mundane, repetitive, created a lot of boredom for me, a lot lack of interest. I just would call in sick. I wouldn't show up. I would get bored of it. So
Mhm.
with this, it's new people, new exciting things, new decor, new ideas that you learn. I think that's kind of where I get my kicks.
And where or from who do you draw inspiration for event planning?
So I have one particular person that I draw inspiration from, and that would be David Titera, who is basically deemed as like a celebrity event planner, which he,
Mhm.
if I got to take a course with him and I got to learn from him. And when you learn about who he is, he hates being called a celebrity event planner. So it's cool to see somebody that's so humble, that's made it into such a big spotlight and has been on so many different TV shows, and that shares all this wealth of knowledge with you, that saves him. Like, what the way that he put it was that it's things that he would have loved to have learned that saved him 10 years of mistakes, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
looking at me and looking at my rose gold event, everything, you wouldn't guess it, but I actually love nomadic themes. So I think I tend to draw a lot of inspiration from, the whole nomadic lifestyle and very dark and
Okay.
simple. And I try to tie those into any event that I have if I get creative freedom.
What sets you apart from other wedding planners?
I think the fact that I do have a lot of heavy cultural experience, myself being half Chinese, and then anybody that knows a little bit about Roze Events knows that my best friend is Sikh, and that brings a lot of cool cultural elements and, has given me an opportunity within their community to actually get to learn their culture and plan things for them. So to me, that's like the biggest thing within my realm is I love to be associated with cultural events, not just weddings specifically. And then
Mhm.
I've been told that I do have a keen sense of empathy and I'm easy to get along with.
As an event planner, what's been your biggest challenge?
Besides COVID-19. I would have to say, it's getting that exposure in, I think, Edmonton market, especially, branching out into Western Canada, more into the BC. You have a little bit of, if you can get a good in, then you're okay. But I find with Edmonton, it's super hard to market yourself from the ground up if you don't have, some sort of a really good in with either a corporate company, someone that's, I call them YEG infamous. So, your Instagram heavy hitters. It's really hard to
Mhm.
get yourself into the edge. And then especially because it is, I say it's a small niche market because more often than not, you're looking at planning weddings or corporate parties. And there's only so many event planners and so many parties, right? So people are going to look to more popular names or people that have worked with other event planners before and go from there. And I find if you don't have a ton of money to dump into marketing and PR and stuff like that, you're going to be clawing your way out from the ground for sure just to get that exposure. And that I think has been the biggest hurdle in itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, what's been your greatest joy in being a wedding planner? You kind of hit on it earlier with the faces, but beyond that, what's your biggest joy?
I think honestly, it was getting my foot in the door in BC. I got an awesome opportunity to go work up at Big White as the events manager over there, and that gave me some time to be able to go down into Kelowna and get my name out there and go and meet with different vendors and venues and kind of just, put my smile and charm around town and see what I could get there.
What is the most common question you have from brides and grooms before they hire you?
So before they hire me, it would be the why. So I found that a lot of people have a hard time justifying paying for planning services versus paying for a physical object that they can see in their weddings and see in their pictures, whereas, planning services, there's no physical evidence of us really. It's just we're in the behind the scenes, making sure that your day goes smoothly. So trying to explain to a lot of the first time, brides and grooms, partners, is for them to understand what we do behind the scenes, because in their mind it's something as simple as, oh well, my family can take care of that, so why would I need to pay you to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we talked about that more in depth last time too. It's the same thing with being a DJ. I'll hire my cousin to DJ. My DJ or my cousin is a DJ. My friend's uncle is a DJ. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. And then a lot of the time they don't realize that, it's awesome and your family will be more than willing to help you on that day of, but at the same time you don't really want to burden them with that, because you're going to want them in
exactly.
pictures, you're going to need them
Yeah,
for the ceremony, for the reception, right? They have to go around and say
absolutely.
to their family. So
Yeah,
it's tough, and when they say it takes a village, it definitely takes a village, and
yeah, right.
sometimes you need to pull from people in neighboring communities.
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And what's the most common question you hear from brides after they hire you?
Once they hire us, I would have to say it's, where do we go from here? Because with event planners, it's such a broad spectrum as to what we do, what we can offer. So a lot of them don't realize that they can, reach out to us for designing expertise, for decor expertise. And it's really just sitting down with them and having that initial consultation of, okay, what's your dream wedding or dream event, and what's your theme, and what are you hoping to achieve that you think you need help with?